Hello, dear friends. Have you ever walked into a room, perhaps in a nursing home or a loved one's space, and admired the greenery, the beautiful plants? We often associate plants with life, with clean air, with a touch of nature indoors. And that's often true. But what if I told you that sometimes these silent companions could be unknowingly causing discomfort, especially for our cherished elders? Imagine this. An elderly resident in a care facility starts experiencing persistent lung discomfort. Doctors are puzzled. Treatments offer little relief. Could the culprit be something as innocent-looking as a potted plant in their room, or in a common area? It's a thought that might not immediately cross our minds, but it's a possibility we need to explore. Today we're going to talk about a sensitive but crucial topic: health danger zones in nursing homes. Specifically, plants that can quietly harm the lungs of our seniors. It's not about creating fear, but about fostering awareness and promoting a safer environment. Let's delve into some of these plants that, while beautiful, might pose a risk. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 10. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. First on our list is the lily. So beautiful, isn't it? And that fragrance can fill a room. But for some of our dear friends, especially those with sensitive airways, that lovely scent comes from pollen. And this pollen can be a real troublemaker. It can irritate the respiratory tract, and for those with asthma or other breathing conditions, it can even trigger an attack. This isn't something we want for our loved ones, is it? Next, let's consider the crown of thorns. It's a unique-looking plant, quite striking with its thick, thorny stems. While its appearance is distinct, it's important to know that the sap in its stems and leaves is toxic. If an elderly person accidentally breaks a stem and the sap comes into contact with their skin, it can cause irritation. More concerning, if hands contaminated with sap touch the face, or if particles of dried sap become airborne in a poorly ventilated space during pruning, it could potentially irritate the respiratory system. Then we have the primrose. Oh, the vibrant colors of primrose flowers are truly a sight to behold, often bringing cheer. However, these pretty flowers contain alkaloids. For some seniors especially, those with sensitive skin, touching the plant can lead to allergic dermatitis, an itchy rash. Now you might wonder, how does a skin rash affect breathing? In severe allergic reactions, or if the irritation is widespread and causes significant discomfort, it can indirectly exacerbate stress and potentially impact overall well-being, which can sometimes affect breathing in vulnerable individuals. Let's talk about the sensitive plant, or Mimosa pudica. It's quite a fascinating plant, the way its leaves fold up when touched. Children love it. But here's something many don't know. It's believed that the sensitive plant can release certain substances at night. If it's kept in a poorly ventilated room, long-term exposure to these substances might, over time, contribute to lung issues or discomfort for elderly individuals who are more susceptible. Another plant to be cautious about is the pencil cactus, sometimes called milk bush, or its scientific name, Euphorbia tirucali. It has a very modern, minimalist look, but its milky white sap is highly toxic and corrosive. If this sap touches the skin, it causes severe irritation. If it gets into the eyes, it can cause intense pain and even temporary blindness. And if, by some unfortunate chance, particles of this sap are inhaled, or if someone touches their mouth or nose after handling the plant, it could lead to inflammation of the respiratory tract and related lung problems. We also need to mention the poinsettia, especially popular during the holiday season. Its bright red leaves are iconic. While often overstated, the milky sap can be an irritant. For highly sensitive individuals, especially the elderly whose immune systems might be more reactive, exposure to the sap, or even airborne particles in close proximity, could potentially trigger allergic reactions affecting the respiratory system or skin. Symptoms might include wheezing or skin rashes. Next up is Datura, also known as angel's trumpet or Jimson weed. This plant has large, beautiful, trumpet-shaped flowers and is highly toxic. Every single part of the Datura plant contains dangerous alkaloids. Accidental contact is one thing, but if any part is ingested, even in small amounts, it can have severe effects on the nervous system. This can lead to delirium, hallucinations, an increased heart rate, and critically, it can also affect the respiratory system, potentially leading to respiratory distress or failure. This is a plant that should absolutely be kept away from vulnerable individuals. Let's not forget night-scented jessamine. As its name suggests, this plant releases a strong, sweet fragrance, especially in the evening and at night. While the scent can be lovely outdoors, in an enclosed space like a nursing home room or a poorly ventilated common area, it's a different story. The potent fragrance and the pollen it releases can be overwhelming and act as irritants. For seniors, particularly, those with pre-existing respiratory conditions like asthma or chronic bronchitis, this can lead to coughing, wheezing, and difficulty breathing. Then there's Dieffenbachia, sometimes called dumb cane. It's a very common houseplant, appreciated for its large, patterned leaves. The dumb, in its name, comes from the fact that its sap contains calcium oxalate crystals. If any part of the plant is chewed or ingested, these tiny needle-shaped crystals cause intense pain, swelling of the mouth and throat, and can lead to a temporary inability to speak. More than that, the sap can cause skin irritation. If water drips from its leaves, hence a common name dripping guanyin for some varieties, and it contains these irritants, or if sap gets on hands and then near the face, it can be a problem. For seniors, severe swelling in the throat area is a serious respiratory threat. Finally, let's talk about the Chinese evergreen, or aglaonema, often with variegated leaves. Like Dieffenbachia, its leaves and stems contain calcium oxalate crystals and other irritants like asparagine. Contact with the sap can cause skin irritation, itching, or a rash. If chewed or ingested, it can cause painful irritation of the mouth, lips, and tongue, and swelling. While direct lung damage is less common from simple contact, any substance that causes strong allergic reactions or significant discomfort can indirectly stress the respiratory system of a vulnerable elderly person. Imagine an elderly person touching the leaves, then rubbing their eyes or nose. This could lead to significant discomfort. So with all this information, what can we do? How can we prevent these hidden dangers and respond effectively? From the perspective of nursing homes and care facilities. First, it's crucial to conduct a thorough audit of all plants currently in the facility, both in residence rooms and common areas. Identify any potentially harmful species. Strengthen plant management. This might mean removing high-risk plants altogether, or relocating them to areas where residents, especially those with cognitive impairments or mobility issues, cannot easily access them. Staff training is also key. Caregivers, nurses, and even cleaning staff should be educated about which plants are risky and what to do in case of accidental exposure. And of course, Puji knowledge. Provide clear information to residents and their families about safe plant choices. Now, from the family's perspective, what can you do? Arm yourselves with knowledge. Learn about common houseplants and their potential risks, especially if your loved one has known allergies or respiratory sensitivities. Gently remind your elderly relatives to avoid touching or getting too close to unfamiliar plants, especially those listed. Pay close attention to your loved one's health. If they develop unexplained skin rashes, breathing difficulties, or other unusual symptoms, consider whether a plant could be a contributing factor and mention this to their healthcare providers. In conclusion, plants can bring so much joy and beauty into our lives and living spaces. But as we've discussed, it's vital to be aware that not all plants are suitable for every environment, especially when it comes to the health and safety of our elderly loved ones in care facilities. We've looked at 10 plants: lilies, crown of thorns, primroses, sensitive plants, pencil cactus, poinsettias, datura, night-scented jessamine, Dieffenbachia, and Chinese evergreens, each with its own potential to cause harm, particularly to the respiratory system or through allergic reactions. This isn't about banning all plants. It's about making informed choices. It's about creating environments that are not only aesthetically pleasing, but also truly safe and nurturing. Let's work together, whether we are care providers, family members, or friends, to be more mindful of the plants we choose. Let's prioritize the respiratory health and overall well-being of our seniors. By being vigilant and proactive, we can help ensure their golden years are lived in comfort and safety. Thank you for listening, and please take this information to heart.